Let me tell you a fun fact. Within the last 2 centuries, more than 90% of the world's millionaires have been created by investing in real estate. But if done incorrectly, without the right knowledge, required skills, or partners, it can also create a ton of problems and a lot of sleepless nights. You feel like sometimes there are way too many gurus out there trying to sell you on a weekend course, or just too much noise to cut right to the facts? Yup, we did too, and this is why we started this podcast. Our goal is to provide real estate investors, entrepreneurs, and enthusiasts with all of the most recent knowledge, secrets, tips, tricks, and tactics so that you can grow your own portfolios, increase your returns, net worth, and most importantly, create generational wealth for you and your loved ones. Remember, this is your real estate career. Information is your sword and shield, so eat hearty, prepare for battle, and grind your way to victory. My name is Tejas Gosai. I'm joined by my partner, Jeremy Moyer, and we welcome you to the Real Estate Investor MBA podcast. Jeremy, we finally got Crexi on. My absolute favorite commercial real estate tool. I've been with Crexi since 2019. We've sold over 50 million in real estate because of these guys. Best, what can I say? Endorsement that I can give in my real estate career goes to them. What'd you think?
It was tremendous. I knew about them for a little while because you introduced me to the platform. And really like the portal that they have, the functionality, but learned a few new things that I didn't know that the platform could do. And they always have new things coming out, which is really I never knew about the auction functionality. And then Ashley kind of goes into some other functionalities that the site has and what's coming in the future.
Yeah, Ashley's wonderful. I know Anthony handles all of their auction stuff. Mm-hmm. I actually worked with him for a couple that we sold recently. I don't think anyone takes advantage of Crexi auctions like they should. A weird thing for me is I'm still telling people about Crexi, seasoned investors, people that have bought and sold millions, hundreds of millions in real estate. And this is by far the best platform, whether you're dipping your toe into the water, you want to look at information, look at offering memorandums, check out financials. It helps you with comps. It helps me a lot with comps to be able to get my buyer to a right number if they disagree. Or with the listing side, we use those comps to help price the product and also work with the appraisal after it goes under contract. Just tremendous stuff. I mean, Jeremy, if you had this, 10 years ago, what would have changed the game?
Totally. It's very, I would say the platform is very intuitive. And it provides you with the information you would want to have as a buyer, investor looking at different inventory in different markets. She actually does share quite a bit of information on the screen. So if anybody's not following us on YouTube, we'll have the video portion of this on YouTube. So definitely subscribe so you can watch that. But yeah, it'd been game changing if it, that was there 10 years ago.
Yeah. So everyone take advantage of it. Enjoy the interview. We love you guys. We'll see you soon.
See you soon. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite real estate podcast. I'm Tejas Gosai. This is my partner, Jeremy Moyer.
Good morning.
We have a super exciting program today. Probably one of my most favorite companies in the world. I will talk at length about our guests. So I'm just going to try to postpone my excitement as you bring in the guest and we start talking.
Very good. So today we have Ashley Kobovitch with us, who is a seasoned sales professional with over 10 years of experience in software sales. She has earned numerous awards for being a top producer, including executive with the largest global deal and frequent annual President's Club winner. She's currently the regional director of the Northeast at Crexi, the nation's fastest growing CRE platform. Her primary goal is to help enhance brokers' business and empower her clients to better leverage technology in closing more deals. She was born and raised in Jersey and is a University of Delaware alumni. Ashley, thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you both for having me. It's a pleasure to be here and chat with you.
Great. So before we kind of get in the main areas, as Tej just mentioned before, he's super excited to kind of dive into that. Can you just tell us a little bit more about yourself and how you ended up getting started with Crexi?
Absolutely. So thanks for the bio, Jeremy, but just a little bit about myself. Jersey girl, born and raised. Went to school at University of Delaware, made my way through New York City, and then out here to LA where I found Crexi. I'd always been interested in commercial real estate, had background in SaaS sales, and it kind of just merged both of those. I saw that Crexi had an amazing niche in the market, kind of going against, bigger giants, and getting brokers like Tejas just, giving us just the best accolades there. So I love working here and being with such a great team that's working on such an innovative product. So happy to be here.
I'm ready to jump in.
Perfect. Let's do it.
I got a quick story though. So, everyone I hope kind of knows this. I'm a commercial real estate team based in the Lehigh Valley, and we had a very challenging past year and a half. I joined Crexi in early 2019. We pride ourselves on being the best commercial listing agents in the Valley. So I think I can say this without naming names. I was spending between 40 and 60,000 a year to get our commercial inventory onto the right platforms. And so when I found Crexi, dollar for dollar, I have never seen anything that has helped our real estate career and my teammates as much as this. We are big data crunchers, so we have this beautiful group of buyers that we have a good relationship with that answer their phone, and we have closed. My numbers are different online, but we've closed over 50 million with Crexi. And the big thing is we were really in a tough place last year. Commercial real estate definitely slowed down. When COVID hit, we moved to eXp Realty, and we were already with Crexi. So those two things saved our butts, and Crexi helped us through some of the most difficult times of COVID. So a lot of people don't know, but Pennsylvania State, we were one of the few states, our real estate industry was completely shut down for over 45 days. And we weren't allowed to do showings. We weren't allowed to go to closings. It was much worse here than anywhere else. So with that, Crexi is the 800-pound gorilla. I still run into people that don't know what Crexi is. You have to go to Crexi.com. That's mainly where we list and a lot of other folks. And the platform is amazing. So there's my big boost. And I'll let you guys talk.
Thank you so much. That was amazing. And I just love hearing those stories. I mean, every single person that I'm speaking with kind of has a similar story. You might be the number one, the winner in that category, the most enthusiastic, but it really is a great place. So love to continue to work with you.
Well, actually, for those that don't know exactly what Crexi is or have heard of it before, can you just give a really high level overview just to bring them up to speed?
Yeah, absolutely. So Crexi is the fastest and largest growing commercial real estate platform online. One of the biggest differentiators between Crexi and some other services out there is it's a completely open marketplace. So what that means, everyone, is that anyone with an internet connection can come onto Crexi and search for properties. We're never going to put a paywall between the buyer or the tenant and the inventory, and we're never going to hide listings within a market. So for the brokers, it's completely free to list your deals. Obviously, we do have a paid program, which is that pro program that you guys just heard all of the swimming reviews on. And then we're able to kind of match make your deals with the right buyers and tenants. So I like to say that we're a technology company first, operating in commercial real estate, because we're taking everything that everyone else is already using, the Hulus, the Ubers, the Amazons, the Netflix of the world, taking AI, taking machine learning, understanding people's preferences, and then serving that back to them. So if someone's looking for a multifamily deal in a certain price point, certain cap rate, certain area, we're going to feed them a new listing that meets that criteria that they may or may not have seen before. So at the end of the day, we're trying to speed up transactions, both from the buyer and the tenant side, as well as from the broker side.
Yeah, it really does merge a lot easier than some of the other platforms. Like there's so much of me that just wants to say what is actually going on. But um yeah, there's I'll say one big thing is like keeping the relationship alive is different on other platforms, and I think you guys have conquered that. You're definitely like a disruption, I think, in the commercial real estate game. Another big thing that a lot of people may not know is I've used Crexi for auctions in the past, and Anthony, I can't remember his last name right now, but
Data,
he yes, yeah, the best. So
best.
that's another place where there are some competitors on the commercial real estate auction platform. I have found it way easier on this side. How about quick question before you got when did Crexi actually begin its process to go and take over this industry?
Yeah, that's a great question. About 6 years ago. So a lot of my team, I would probably say about 90% of my team is former brokers. So we've sat in your shoes, right? We understand the pain points. Brokerage is very kind of segmented, right? There's a lot of different tools for a lot of different things. So really the inception for Crexi was to have one place where brokers can list their deals, market their properties, get them sold and leased, get data and comps, and do it all at a fair price, right? And kind of pull all those tools into one. And then we're continuing to grow. So as you mentioned with auction, it's amazing to see what we've been able to do within less than a year of launching that product. So we actually just won and beat out said competitors for the largest online auction deal to ever be transacted. It's 155 million. It's the Beltway in Las Vegas. It's a huge, huge deal for us. So if anyone does want to know more about auction, we'll definitely get you introduced to Anthony and that team, and we'll help you auction off those deals.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So actually, a good amount of our listeners, I would say, I don't know if Tejas, if you agree with this, are buy and hold investors in commercial real estate, either multifamily, self storage, office.
Mhm.
What's they can set up an account, I would assume, within the Crexi platform, right? What can they expect to see? Like, do they just set up their profile? They just set up searches to kind of get deal flow coming to them directly to their email? Like, how can they leverage that AI capability that you mentioned to be able to interact with the brokers that have these deals that list them?
Absolutely. So it's completely free on the buy side to create that account to do as many searches as you want. We just require a couple of bits of information: name, phone number, email, of course, so we can communicate with you. And then on your end, you can save as many searches as you want. So if there is specific criteria that you are looking for, you can save that. We can compile a list and send it to you on a weekly basis. You can get notifications immediately in real time. And then based on what you actually are searching, that's where kind of that AI machine learning comes in. So even if you forget to save your searches, we'll still feed you content based on what you are searching and kind of putting out there.
Let me jump in. A big thing about commercial real estate is being able to move quickly. We talk about Jeremy and I talk about this all the time. Get your team set up, get your bank, get your realtors, all that fun stuff, property management company. I don't think enough people take advantage of price drops.
Yes.
A lot of people go look at, this property and they see it at a low cap rate and a high number. Well, that's the realtor game. We're trying to sell it at the highest number. We just need you to bring an offer. We're trying to make it match.
Mhm.
So that's a big deal. And with Crexi, I'm just going to show you one thing on my side. Here's the back end of my Crexi with our listings, and I hope I'm allowed to share this.
Yes.
So we all of these are commercial properties. Here's one, we've had it online for a bit, but 2,600 page views. All these folks get constant interaction from us, and it may be things like a listing that we are going to be putting online in 24 to 48 hours. The platform, like we're sending messaging out as much as possible to try to get everyone ahead of the curve. So Yeah, I just wanted to mention that. That's like another way that the platform helps to acquire properties. One last thing is the financials. You guys have different inputs than I've ever seen for, cap rate, square foot, just the whole, functionality is great to have that detail. Um, so yeah, these are just my comments on them. I just have good things to say.
No, it's awesome, and in terms of the functionality, I mean, I think that speed to market and just knowing, your market, knowing what's going on is extremely important. So if you go on and you're searching for something and you are interested in a deal, but you are waiting for the price to drop or something like that, you can always save that property, and in real time, if anything does change, you will get an alert on that. So there's a price drop or a highest and best or call for offers. So you will get that information in real time, and that'll be sent to you either through email or a text message if you choose.
That's right. The call for offers has helped us a lot because we can indicate on an exact listing, like, look, we're going to lose this listing if we
Yep.
don't get an offer soon. Come into play.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Jeremy, I'm talking too much. Go for it.
Well, I was interested in going a little, dive a little deeper in the auctions um, that you mentioned before. Can you kind of go into that a little more, Ashley?
Yeah, sure. So we have a specific auction team that if anyone is interested, we'll definitely do a one-on-one. We'll evaluate the property, but in terms of the actual auction itself, you can see everything as we're searching right here. You can see exactly when bidding starts. The bidding process is extremely easy. So again, being that technology company, we're not built in the 90s, we're not built in the 80s, right? It's a sexy platform, it's easy to use, very customer friendly, and the auction process is just smooth sailing from start to finish. So it's really exciting. We have a huge team on the auction side that is getting all of our bidders ready and prepared. It's a pretty quick close, so we can definitely showcase that on a more specific basis and talk about anyone's deals. If their seller does want to auction anything off, we'll do a one-to-one consultation.
I'll jump into, let's look at an exact example here. So, got to pick a pretty property, this $15 million property. Um, but a lot of the due diligence is done. You guys start running, title,
Yep.
have a very detailed informational package. All the auction kind of process is about getting ahead, and then you guys market the heck out of it. People
Yep.
register,
Yep.
and just for the details, because I know them. You have to have a certain amount of they want to see a proof of funds.
Yep.
You guys want to make sure that the person who is in the auction is the right person. That helps me as the seller. Or as a listing agent, I have sold that to the sellers. Like, there's not just some knuckleheads that are coming into this, and we require a lot of information, and then that's what drives the auction, because these buyers are informed. They're well aware of what they have to do, and the numbers look really attractive. But that's because you're really trying to get a bidding war, which is good for everyone involved.
Absolutely. And our team does a fantastic job of vetting those said buyers. So I appreciate you saying that, because it is very, very legitimate.
Well, it's a sales point on many fronts. Like, if you're a buyer here, we have a lot of people. I would say like 40% of the folks that listen to our podcast are people that are just waiting to take their first steps, and they want to syndicate a deal and things like that. This is a fully open platform of information. You can pull all of that. It makes it easier to go to your syndication group or to evaluate it with your friends. And then if you just look at the auction items, this is what every listing agent wants to see. Like, they
Mhm.
want you to have a proof of funds. We require it on just our regular listings. So, commercial real estate is getting more aggressive, which is requiring everybody on all sides to clean up their act. You can't really mess around. You get called out on numbers, and people are really analyzing these numbers to the point where it's fractions of a dollar that they're willing to bid for. I
Mhm.
have seen that and
Mhm.
lost out on things like that before. Keep going.
So I guess from lessons you mentioned early on that you had a lot of people on your team were brokers, and you really put this platform together to kind of solve a lot of problems for brokers, right? With getting deal flow out there and to the buyers. Are there any other lessons that served you guys early on that you learned from working either at Crexi or with brokers, feedback that you received? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, I think that's a great question, and I think it kind of goes to all different aspects, not just at Crexi, but specifically within commercial real estate. As you guys know, it's all very relationship driven, right? So that was one of the biggest things that I think I picked up when transitioning from just general SaaS and software sales to more of software within commercial real estate. So my biggest piece of advice for anyone is just always be true to your brand, right? People are going to buy from you because they like you, they respect you. So be true to your brand, be true to your word, have integrity within everything that you're doing. I think that goes without saying within any industry, but especially within commercial real estate, it's all about those relationships, right? Treat people with respect, be kind, be humble, work hard, your success will come. And if it's not a now, then it's let's continue this relationship. And 3, 6 months later, as I'm sure you guys know, we'll continue to call you. We'll continue to fight for your business. Eventually it will happen.
Um,
That's one of the biggest lessons I've
yeah,
learned.
I love it. We got to get through two things that are really important. We talked about auctions, um,
Yep.
comps. So uh, I've been using Crexi, and just to tell you guys functionality wise, and Jeremy, I did this for you when we sold your portfolio, but all of my teammates, we meet the appraiser on site. We make sure we know when that's happening. We meet them with comps. We try to argue our side of it. I won't say skew, but we try to competitively say this is how we got the pricing. Now it's under contract. You're the bank. Here's brand new comps and my original pricing comps. And so, please let my property appraise, dear God.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can share your screen or if you want me to do it. But yeah,
Either way, we can totally do that, but we can look at comps. So the main thing that we want to do, again, being built, kind of by brokers, so to speak, is we want to make sure that the comps are legitimate. Right. So we've been in the industry, we've sat where you've sat, and we don't want people calling us in the middle of dinner asking us what our buildings sold for. Right. We may or may not be truthful. So in terms of this, we are actually pulling in from public records, city, county, state level records. And that's the way that they're coming in. So it's all verified twice before any comp is coming onto our system. So the same exact way as you would do a search on Crexi in terms of filters, you're going to want to do that as well. So we can filter this by asset type, by closing period. So we're probably going to want more of the recent closings. Different asset type, different price point, different cap rate, etc., and then pull that in. And then you can get very granular in terms of how we're searching here. We can even get down into the parcel level. We can go into insights as well. So you can pull this in. And as I start to move around in the map, the left side is going to change here as well for me, right? So even one town or one city is not created equal. They all have different pockets, right? So as I'm moving around on the map, this is going to change here for us. You can export this. You can bring this with you. You can export specific comps as well. Open this up. I'll have our mortgage information, tax history, selling history, etc.
and this is really good because let's just say you're a buyer agent looking to buy one of these properties. Your buyer, very versed, looks at the numbers but doesn't understand where you're coming from. You run one of these, you justify your numbers, you try to get an offer on the table.
Exactly. And this is all exportable. I know I'm just looking at this once, but property history, tax history, and then I can just go back here to my list view and kind of click on all of them and export. Anything else that you'd want to look at, from a comps perspective, or any other questions that listeners might have?
So, do you have any newsletters or is there like a function that you can maybe if you send out your own newsletters that you can like distribute that directly to the list, or is there integration? From a broker's perspective, yeah.
I've sold a bunch of inventory through your newsletter.
Hmm.
Mhm. Yeah. So do you want to explain how you personally did that on Crexi?
Yeah, it's a we have a contract with Crexi. It costs a little bit of money, relatively speaking. They, we work with somebody. They load our listing or listings into a newsletter, and then I get to see the statistics. I can't show it right now because the clients are there, but I get to see who opened it, click through, new people that saw it. And like some of mine go to like 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 people. I don't know exactly how that metric is done, but as a listing agent, I've sold a bunch of inventory that way and gotten a lot of leads. And I don't know how big your newsletter is, but I know you guys are amassing a good group. If you can share that.
Absolutely. So we'll do this in a couple of different ways. So we will, based on the property, right, again, use that algorithm, use that AI and machine learning to target people that are actually interested in deals similar to yours. So I'm looking at a deal right now, and I'm going to see on the right-hand side, these are all emails that we send out. So we'll send out local, national, and potentially even regional blasts. So you can see that this one was a national blast that was sent out. It was sent out to just under 50,000 people. There's a 13% click-through rate, which double digits is unheard of in the industry. And that's, again, contributing to who we're actually sending this out to. So again, this is casting a very wide net, but we'll send this also regionally and locally to about 2,000 people, etc. And then you'll see all the statistics as well. So everything is available to you on the platform. And then for me personally, I still like to go into an Excel and kind of see all of this information. So this will be broker branded. You'll be able to see all of this information. It'll have the property that's on here. And then from a marketing campaign perspective, I'll be able to go ahead and see how many emails were sent out. You can do as many emails as you want on your own, and then we'll also load in the people for you, again, based on who we think is the best fit for your listings.
I know that Excel sheet very well. I love it.
Exactly. And then as you did mention, right here is that lead report. So we're the only company giving you this level of detail in terms of phone numbers, email addresses, where people are looking at your deal from, and you're able to just upload this into your CRM, use this as a call sheet, retarget these people, re-email them. You can actually do that straight from the platform. And then this is yours to keep. So even people just opening up a flyer or visiting the page, you'll have all of this information here for you.
Awesome. Jeremy, we're getting close. Editor's going to get mad.
I was going to say that feature alone right there seems invaluable, from reaching like a targeted market, right? And then being able from the broker side to be able to follow up directly with those that opened it and maybe spend time looking at it. And yeah, that was really interesting.
Absolutely. Brokers will say that lead report pays for Crexi for the next 10 years. I mean, you all know what you can do with one phone call. So you can transact with people multiple times. That's where the money is.
It's better than that. It's so much better than that. Like on different platforms, you can call these folks. They are aggressive in commercial real estate. It's really easy to pinpoint. I mean, dollar for dollar, it's insane how little I pay for what we get, truly. And I think I was one of the earlier folks. I got a good contract, but still, even if it was 15 times more, it's worth the value. All right, one last question. What about the future of Crexi, and what's the secret stuff you could share?
Yeah, so you put it perfectly. The secret stuff, what I can share. So I mean, obviously we started just on the sales side. We wanted to do one thing and we wanted to do it right. Then we opened up our leasing platform. Then we introduced sales comps. We're figuring out a way to introduce lease comps as well. That's a little bit harder to get. You guys know that, but we're going to figure it out. We're also doing auctions. We might potentially do a lending arm at some point, and kind of put together people that are interested in buying a property with maybe where they can get funds, things like that. So there's a lot of different things on the roadmap for Crexi. it's so exciting. Our product team is best in class. We're always doing sprints. We do sprints every 2 weeks and introducing new things to the platform. So we have a ton of ideas on where we want to go, and we're really excited to do it with you all. A lot of our new products definitely come from broker feedback. So if anyone listening has things that they really want to see. Some people want to see a CRM, an OM creation. How can I build CMAs, BOVs, things like that. So please don't hesitate to reach out and give us some ideas.
Definitely. All right, Jeremy, you good? Anything?
No, I'm good with questions. Yeah.
Crexi.com. All right. I don't work for Crexi. I just love the company. It's been great for those folks who are still dipping their toe and figuring out real estate or where their play is. This is the easiest resource. Appreciate all the time. You're wonderful. And everyone, check us out on iHeartRadio, Google Play, iTunes. Where else are we at?
Spotify, Stitcher, and TuneIn. Yeah.
And LinkedIn, Facebook. We love you all. Thank you, Ashley. It's Jeremy Moyer, Tejas Gosai, Real Estate Investor MBA. We will see you next time.
Thank you.
Thanks.